Hello, it's Sherry Truhlar with Red Apple Auctions. Today I want to talk to you about how you know it's right to incorporate an online auction into your existing fundraising auction event. Now, I'm prefacing this because I have been doing a 6-week teleseries now talking about technology as it relates to a benefit auction. And this week I'm going to be interviewing an expert in online technology, online auctions. But before I heard from him on Thursday, I wanted to go ahead and get my 2 cents in here and talk about when it is that I notice a need for a nonprofit or a school to start incorporating online auction technology into their gala. Or maybe they shouldn't be doing a gala at all. Maybe it should strictly be an online auction. So when I jotted down the 4 areas where I find myself talking about online auctions, the first one had to do with excessive procurement. Now, some of you are going to be listening to that and thinking, you're kidding me. There's people out there who have excessive procurement. We're trying to get, 40 items here, and there's people out there who have excessive procurement. Yes, there are, and they tend to be schools more than nonprofits. It's unbelievable. The letter for the donations goes out, and it's this embarrassment of riches almost as the donations come in the door. And there's a lot of multiples. You might get 10 $25 gift cards to a pizza place, or you might get 2 or 3 donations from the same photographer, or you might have a bunch of people within your group who have tickets to a football team, season tickets, and they all donate tickets to the same games. So that's an example of where you're having a lot of duplicates, and an online auction is really going to help you, because with all of those items you're going to run into 2 dilemmas that you share with physicists. It comes down to space and time. In your case, you don't have enough space to properly display all of the items you've procured. Secondly, you're not going to have enough time to give your guests to get through all of those items. They simply, during your cocktail hour, they cannot get through 350 or 400 items and look at everything and bid on it, and think about whether they want it and bid on it in a 90-minute cocktail hour. So because of that, that's a great opportunity for you to use an online auction to go ahead and sell some of those duplicates, so you're not having to see your revenues decline because there's just simply too much stuff. The second time that I find myself talking about online auctions with a client has to do with when you have no on-site help. Now let's think about this. Both an online auction and an on-site auction take a lot of work. But an on-site auction is going to take a lot more activities. A lot more things are going to have to take place. You're going to have to get a venue. You'll probably serve your guests food. You'll have to get a sound system, an auctioneer. You might hire a band. You're going to have to deal with bid sheets. You're going to have a check-in and a checkout team there ready to go. You may have to hire security depending on the types of items that you have displayed. There's a lot of elements that go into an on-site auction that you don't need to worry about with an online auction. You're going to need to have some help maybe procuring items, but then it's just going to take 1, maybe 1.5 people to really work with that auction online. So there's considerable advantages there that if you are hurting for help, an online auction might be a good way to go. Now you might be thinking, well, why do people even have on-site auctions if there's so much more work? We'll save that for another video, because there are some added advantages to having an on-site auction that you don't get with an online auction, but we'll cover that another time. The third reason as to why you might start looking for an online auction has to do with procurement again, but it has to do with the procurement that keeps on coming. There are some groups who have a great group of people who support them who tend to give things throughout the year. So for instance, I see this very often with sporting events. Maybe someone holds season tickets to the local professional basketball game, and wouldn't you know it that they can't attend a game or 3 games coming up, so they will turn their tickets over to the nonprofit. Well, the nonprofit can't hang on to those for 9 months until their auction, because there's a date and a time associated with that donation. The game is going to happen in 6 weeks, so they need to sell that. They need to liquidate it and turn it into cash, into a donation, in that period of time. If they have an online auction technology, they can put those tickets out there, sell them, turn them into cash, and then use that as a donation in their own nonprofit. Another example might be artists. Sometimes prolific artists will donate works throughout the year. Sometimes it's people who have access to interesting community events, that sort of thing. So that would be another time an online auction technology would be worth investing in, because you'll be using it throughout the year to make donations into cash. The fourth time is when your cause is bigger than your community. And let me give you an example. Let's say that you have a big cat refuge, right? You've bought a bunch of land out in Iowa, and you've got this kind of preserve out there where you take big cats that maybe have been abandoned, or someone bought an exotic animal, realized that they shouldn't have a tiger in a New York apartment, and now it is looking for a home. They need to find a home for this creature. Well, your big cat preserve out there in Iowa might be perfect for them so that they can live out their life in dignity, but what you might find is that some of the people who support you the most aren't in Iowa. Maybe they're on the East Coast or the West Coast, or they're in Europe, or they're somewhere else in the world. Well, in that case, having an on-site auction might not be the best option for you initially. Maybe an online auction is a good way to go, because you're going to be able to reach out to those people who believe in your mission, even though they're not located in Iowa. So they can participate, give you money in an auction format, but you don't need to worry about throwing an on-site event, because chances are they wouldn't fly all the way from Timbuktu to attend your gala anyway. So that's a way for you to reach out with your mission and make some money. There you have it, 4 ways to get on-site or online auctions into your event. Now remember, I will be hosting this technology teleseries for 6 weeks. We are in week 2. It's totally free. It's a way for you to find out what technology is out there to help you build your event. You can sign up at redappleauctions.com/tech teleseries. Go over there, you'll get all the information about the upcoming speakers and weeks that we're going to be conducting this. Everything's recorded, so even if you can't attend live, you'll receive a recording the next day so that you can take the valuable information for yourself, for your committee, whoever needs to hear it. I'm Sherry Truhlar with Red Apple Auctions. Thanks for watching, and good luck to you in your next charity auction.